Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. And gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully Enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to understand how this meditation will help for you to develop your spiritual foundation. So, when it comes to Buddhism, it has a cultural part, and at the same time it has a kind of like an academical part, and at the same time it has a spiritual part which related to self-realization. So when it comes to this spiritual path, there are few ways that it can develop. So one is you can use the Buddhism and you can use all the teachings to develop this conventional life as an ordinary person. Whatever in Buddhism, it is not just a theory that only works for Nibbana. That is the final destination, that is the final goal. But still, you can use these teachings to develop your conventional life. The very reason is there is no any harm going to come out of practicing Buddhism for conventional life. There is no any single word in the whole Buddha's teaching ignite your greed, hatred, or the delusion. So it's always somehow any word, if you take any word, there is no way that you can multiply it and develop it to greed, hatred, or the delusion. It always go with the generosity, compassion, and the wisdom and loving kindness. So in this conventional life, you can use it as a method or the background or the path to develop your conventional life. And other one is after you die. So that is the main thing we have to understand. After we die, if we go into a lower existence, what's the point in then becoming a human being and having this life? Because from here, if you go to a lower level, that means your journey itself very scary, unsuccessful. So the Buddha's teaching you can use to attain to a more higher existence. Now, when it comes to death, and there are a lot of conversations keep going on around the world, or is this only the life we have, or we going to have another life again, becoming, happening or not? So when it comes to the Buddha's very, very basic foundation of the teachings is this, the reason of becoming. That's why we have to practice this all. If it is only this life, why you need the practice? Because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of countries have a kind of like a very good, comfortable lifestyle. So then you don't need the dharma that much, because the law is enough for government, law enough for you to just maintain life. It will take care of you. Why the Buddha's teaching is important? Because this life not going to end from our death. Why is that? Because this life happened because of the karma. You born because of a karma, and then the karma change, your life change, and then you die because of the karma, and then you're going to born again. You can't escape from that. Just thinking or dreaming, wishing or hoping, you can't escape from it. Just look, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and next year. This is everything ahead, you know that. But you have no power to escape from it. Even you die, it's not the end for you. So the Buddha saw this, dying and becoming, dying and becoming. And that's why this solution is important. How to stop this? Another one is that out of the Dharma you can gain this. It's a very clear-cut answer. There's no you have to go here and there to attain to Nibbana. And that is the only path that if you really want to gain the Nibbana, this is the only path. Ekayano ayamaggo satipatthana. There is no two ways. It doesn't matter you like or not. It doesn't matter you understand or not. That is the way. So then, if anyone attain to the Nibbana or the liberation, that person need to come through this. That means understanding the impermanence and unsatisfactory nature and the selflessness. There is no way anyone can attain to liberation or the Nibbana to end this life circle without understanding that three things. Maybe there are some people explain or interpret Nibbana in different way. There is a different Nibbana for them. There is a kind of like, nightclub called Nibbana, Nirvana. So, so for them, there is a different idea about Nirvana. There are many hotels. They use the name Nirvana. Like a very famous, look at the Buddha bar, very famous. It's nightclub. They have different, understanding or interpretation about happiness and satisfaction. That is their, problem. But when it comes to the real Nibbana, means liberation or stopping this becoming. So then how you can do that? This all the teachings going to take you to that path. So when it comes to practice, overall you have to understand deeply, it's not something that kind of you start to believe, you start to hope, you start to see and recognize. And it is not even far away from your life. You start to recognize within yourself, just your own life. And that understanding will take you deeper little by little, little by little. So when it comes to practice, there is a way that you can slowly develop this. And so one time there was a deity visited the Buddha, Deva, and asked a question. Oh, venerable sir, how you cross the river? How you cross the current? So when it comes to current, ogre, the stream, there are pure stream. Desire is an ogre. And the view, ideas, self-centered view is a kind of like a river or the stream or the current. So like that, there are many. And the consciousness itself, ignorance itself, is a kind of like a stream or the current or the river. And existence, look, it itself. And we have no power over this becoming and dying, and it's happening. And it's also kind of like a river, take you. So then this deity asked from Buddha, Bhante, Venerable Sir, how you cross the river? The Buddha gave a very beautiful answer. This is very important for practice meditation. So what he gave, what is the answer he gave? So I didn't hold it to one place on the river, on that water. It's kind of like being lazy, just whatever happened to me, let it happen. No, it's not like that. And at the same time, I didn't struggle with the current or the river or the water. So see, this both is kind of like, what the Buddha said. I did not completely just neutralize and became lazy and allow water to take me down. No. And at the same time, I didn't struggle that much. And that's how I crossed the river. So this is very important when you start to practice meditation and at the same time in day-to-day life. So today we are going to look into that and how we can apply it to our practice and how you can apply it in your day-to-day life. So this is a very simple look, but it is very deep. So in the beginning, when you settle down with your posture, remember these two techniques. So what? It not let go, but at the same time, Buddha didn't struggle with the water. So then when you sit, don't just let go everything, or don't just kind of like be lethargic, or don't allow anything to happen. Because sometimes we think, oh, let anything happen, it's okay. No, don't allow it to happen, because then you go with the cause and effect, with the karma will handle itself. Then what is the point becoming a human being? Where is your consciousness? So that's why when it comes to posture, don't allow your body or don't allow your technique to take you to liberation. It's not going to happen. And some people say, oh, I sit for 1 hour, close my eyes and allow anything to happen. What's the point? Where is your consciousness? So it still take you to the current or the stream or the becoming or so whatever the suns are. Another thing is, once you sit, don't struggle yourself too much. Don't tight your body. Don't bring all the mental dogmas and, oh, this somehow I'm going to attain to Nibbana. Somehow I'm going to attain to liberation. It's kind of like you start to do like a military practice. You don't do that. So see that you don't let go strength and you don't put too much strength. So then you have to stay in the middle. That is the first thing that you have to practice with the posture. Settle down. That settling down doesn't mean you become sleepy or you become kind of like Iron Man, macho guy. No, you in the middle. You put the strength, but at the same time, not too much. And then bring the attention to the body. That is what you have. It's you. So when you start to put the attention to the body, what happens? So you start to see a different nature of your body. Because most of time, a lot of people till they die, they don't see that. They don't understand it. Because most of time, as you know, we are covered, our body, we covered from cloth. When you see someone, and even ourselves, we always put something on us. And sometimes our body attached to certain kind of sensation with this cloth now. And even whatever the garment, sometimes when you're at home, when you go out, there are certain garments you feel so comfortable. So that come out of the feelings. And what happens when you caught up on that current, you don't see the nature of the body. So practicing meditation now, once you sit, settle down, when you put the attention to body, what happens? You start to recognize beyond this layer of garment. You start to recognize the very nature of the body. So that's very necessary. Because without that, and sometimes how you're going to understand the sensation. So then when you see that, it show you, it's changed little by little. Also always is vibrating. And even though this body, it look like, solid, once you start to observe it a little bit, you recognize it's moving. It's kind of like a flux. So it give a deeper access to this natural body. So observing that is very. So today we are going to see with the breathing how we can go deeper. So when it comes to breathing, in the beginning, we observe inhalation, exhalation. And once you start to observe the inhalation, exhalation, or the sensation, one thing is you don't interfere with your mind, views, thoughts. And remember now, you don't let go complete. Remember the Buddha's technique, that what the Buddha taught to that deity. I don't allow water to take me down, but at the same time, I didn't struggle too much with the water. Use the same technique now. So you come to observe the sensation. You don't completely let go the sensation. But at the same time, this is very important. You don't put too much attention or the effort to the sensation. Because this both way, you're going to wash away from the awareness. So now it's up to you. So then, once you see this, and sometimes finding that middle is, sometimes it is very important, and that is the key. Because once you get that key point, your practice is going to become more successful. So if you let go completely your attention, then you fall into sleep, lethargy, and so little by little, you sit with the head up and you end, head on the floor. So That's happened because it slowly disappears. It happened in day-to-day life. That's why we are in the samsara. We think, oh, I'm going to put the attention, but once you go there, it washes away. Sometimes just imagine you go to the market, you want to buy something, you think, but you forget it there. And you go to the dentist and tell, oh, this side, you have a teeth to take out, and they take it out of this side. And they mark all the papers and everything and, drawing the line, okay, do this. And how many operations? They mark everything and they go and, cut a different part. It's happened. That's normal. So that's why, that is the reason, because our awareness, we let go. Then we wash away with the current. So once you put the attention, remember, now you don't allow that inhalation, exhalation, or whatever happened, let it happen. No, you keep the awareness, but not too much. If you put too much, you get so tired. You're going to have a very crazy the mind. And then you're going to end up having a very cuckoo mind, not a kind of like a wisdom, So that's why don't put too much attention. So finding balance, it's person to person different. So it is your responsibility by practicing, recognizing, finding the balance within your effort. And once you have it, you recognize in the beginning that even though you see the sensation, and little by little you recognize that it is just not only the inhalation. There is a beginning, there is a middle, there is an end, and there is a neutral part, and then again the exhalation, and it is a beginning, there is a middle, and there is an end, and there is a small little empty space. So then you recognize this is a kind of like it's not a one moment of action. It's a kind of like a circle happening. This each other have a connection. It's kind of like a rotating, rolling, moving. So that recognition is not a kind of like you put a mental idea. Now you recognize this, what is happening within you. That's the very nature of the samsara. Circle. It's everything. See the behavior of there is a beginning, process, end, and there is a little gap, and then it give a completely opposite side to arise, exist, disappear. So if you look into this, all the actions, reactions, and the result in this entire universe, just imagine, you go beyond this universe and you start to observe this universe from the outside, above the universe. And then what you say? You see the same circle, the same thing happening within your inhalation, exhalation. This everything arising, little bit existent, disappearing, and then again it give a birth to something, recycling. It's a go like a circle. So this entire universal pattern, you start to catch in front of your nose and your upper lip area. It's kind of like you get into a kind of like a very nuclear wisdom. Boom. It's give the entire universal method. That's itself called samsara. Everything, each and every cell, each and every organ, small organ to large organs, and everything happened this thing. This entire earth, this all the planets, plants, it is everything, the same process. Sometimes we can't see it, but now you have opportunity to recognize that. So once you have that, when you keep observe, so by the time what happened, even though inhalation, exhalation happen in here like this way, sometimes your mind wash away. See that the technique that what the Buddha did. So your mind wash away. It's go away. Or maybe your mind get so tight with some kind of thoughts or the ideas. And then when it happen in your mind, suddenly it affect to your breathing. So then when you observe the inhalation, exhalation, you have to see the very condition of the mind. And just rather than allowing itself to happen, you recognize if the mind wash away, so that's mean you allow whatever happen. No, now you stay focused, and then if something come to your mind and keep kind of like a tight as idea, you recognize and you release it, let go. And the same thing happened to body also. Sometimes when you keep observe the inhalation, exhalation, you can see your body become completely kind of like a lethargic, kind of like a piece of cloth. It's become so lazy, so sleepy. So then what the laziness start to overtake. So then it affect for your body, breathing. And then sometimes you see your body get so tight, maybe not the whole body, sometimes the whole body and sometimes part of the body becoming so tight. And it happened with the unconsciously. And sometimes purposely we do that, sometimes without a purpose it happens. So when it happens like that way, right away, you have to make it more relaxed. If it is become so relaxed, you have to put some effort on your body. And if it is become so strong or the tight, you have to release your body. When it happened that way, right away, it affect for your breathing. So then now you see the inhalation, exhalation happens. And at the same time, your mind, you keep in the balance, and the body, you keep in the balance. So as a result of that, what happened, because inhalation, exhalation, natural process, you can't touch that. Our purpose is getting to the very pure, natural level of clarity and understand its own natural process. So, but according to the behavior of the mind and the body, that understanding going to different. So that's why now you keep the balance with your mind and you keep the balance with your body. And so in that way, you are capable to see its natural process. And it brings the clarity. And then what happened? Once you come to the breathing, the body and the mind, this balance, you start to feel so comfortable, relaxed. But still, it is a physical feeling. And it's you feel so good with that. You never experience it. And it's a beyond, it's a kind of like a intimacy. But the people most of time through the physical, depending from something we experience that, but now you come to just by observing, you come to connect with the breathing, the body and the mind. And it's give a kind of like a deeper satisfaction to be there, be with it. But the thing is, your awareness should detach from that. That is the key point. That is what the practice you need. So in that level, when it comes to that, when it happens, this is the technique. Listen this very carefully. So use the Buddha's technique, that what the Buddha didn't allow that current to, the water to take him down. So same way, you should not allow this happiness or this satisfaction, these feelings to take you down. Drove into it. You completely 100% go with it. If you go with that, you wash away. That's what happened. You caught up to feelings and then you forget, oh, I practice meditation, I observe inhalation, etc. You feel kind of like a wow, and then done. You again go back to the same level. And the other thing is, when that feelings arise, you should not resist it too much. Because the interconnection of your body, mind, the breathing, you can't resist it too much and a struggle. Then it becomes a war within yourself. So you have to allow it to happen, but you have to be aware about it. That is the difficult part. That's why this awareness, sharpening this awareness is important. Because most of the time, just imagine, when we come to our day-to-day activities, we can't have that. When we eat, when we sleep, when we drink, we just fall into it 100%. We fall into, it's kind of like you completely just when you fall into sleep, you don't hold anything, you just 100% give your awareness attention. You fall into love, that means you falling, you give 100% of you. You don't hold anything there. So like that, this falling to this deeper satisfaction wash you away. That's what you have to understand. So you not falling to it, but at the same time, you don't resist it. You stay in the middle. You keep the awareness. And in that level, you recognize this body, the mind, is giving these feelings. And if you are capable to go beyond that, what happened? 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition. Remember this. Now you form, you get out of that barrier. If you are capable to handle that and stay in the middle, and without falling to that feelings and the happiness and the satisfaction, without resisting that happiness and satisfaction, if you are capable to observe and be aware with the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, you get out of the form. So anymore, not this your own body. This is the thing. Anymore in this samsaric journey, anywhere, any physical form cannot catch you. You be with it, you experience it, but deeper, you're going to be in the middle. So that's the key point, that you're getting the benefit to you, and it's going to go with you entire samsaric journey. So now you get out of the form barrier. So the form, so then come the feelings. So that feeling is totally different, not the physical feelings that we experience from the first level. So that feelings come out of the deeper, the mental connection. Because as you know, that when it comes to like, dislike, neutral, there is a deeper mental connection. It's not anymore the physical, because wherever the mind go, you go there. So that the mind, this here deeper, that feelings, good feelings, bad feelings, or the neutral feelings, or the, so many ways it explained, but somehow, just remember, then the deeper that you start to recognize there is a kind of like this mental connection with the pain or the feelings. But to understand this, you have to first get out of that surface level of feelings. And that also the same. So that when it comes to the mind, like dislike, neutral, so in there also, and the physical feeling and the mental feelings. So that mental feelings, you recognize this is the behavior of mind. And if there is a, if you completely go with it, you wash away. And if you resist that feelings, then what will happen? That also become a barrier to your practice. But you have to recognize without responding to this. This is the important thing. You recognize without responding. It's same like watching a river without jumping or without going away. You just watch the river. So like that, you start from the inhalation, exhalation, you see the body. Now you see the behavior of mind. Form, feelings. Now you go to the second barrier. So once you go beyond this level, what happens? Out of any mental views, that whatever the feelings that you gain, you will never going to hold it to that in your life anymore, because now you can see. And the third one, then you enter into the third one, perception. So in that very level, you observe the inhalation, exhalation. Now anymore, you are not caught up with these physical feelings. And now you are not caught up with these mental feelings. And now you see the thoughts arise with many, many ideas sometimes. It's a natural process. Without any, suddenly thoughts come with many, many things. And then you keep observe. You don't neglect that. If you neglect, what will happen? That thought will take you. And you don't try to stop it. Because who you are to stop your thoughts? You think it's your thoughts? No, it's a natural. That is what you have to understand. If it is your thoughts, why you can't remember all the things that you used to do? You can't remember. If it is your mind, why you can't have a very intelligent, whatever the mind, the memory you want? You can't. It's not your mind. That's what you have done. So now you understand this is not the mind that you think. So if there are thoughts come, it's go, and you observe. And then you recognize, if you not interfere with that thoughts, it will go away. This is a very important understanding within yourself. When the thought arises, if you don't hold it to that thought will go away itself. You no need to do anything. So that is where you get out of this idea of controlling. There's nothing to control. Form, feeling, perception. So that is where you get out of you recognizing that you are the one who manipulating this thought, putting different ideas on the top of that thought. When the thought arises, what happens? You catch it, and then you bringing more thoughts on the top of it. Form, feeling, perception. So now you recognize, you see the perception, how you put the ideas on that. And then that is where you build up the drama or the magic show that you experience in life. It was not there. It's not inbuilt. You know, it happened in the moment when the thought arises. So now you recognize it. And then what happened when the thought arises? You don't interfere with it. You don't get into this magic show. You don't get into this drama inside your head. You just observe and keep the focus to the primary mental object. And at the same time, now you see what is the behavior of the mind. Thought arise and go away. And now you get out of the perception. That is where you are capable to stay focused with something without having too much thoughts, because you need that much thought. This is too much. It's always look ourselves morning to night. Always when the thought arises, and we have no idea why that thought arises, we always catch it, and top of that we start to go. It's kind of like a roller coaster. Now you recognize it. And form, feeling, perception, and the volition. And once you recognize that, you see this deeper, there is an inner current, the taste, and the keep boiling inside you like a volcano. It's one kind of like a blow out. No idea. From the previous repetition of the mind or the thoughts. Now you see that, and you are not interfering to that. You don't allow it to happen. But at the same time, you don't resist it. You just see it. You don't interfere with the conscious idea to push it down. No, you see it, because otherwise you can't see it. So you see it, but at the same time, you don't go with it. And once you jump out of that form, feeling, perception, volition, and the recognition, now your consciousness is become crystal clear, free itself. That is what you need. Once you have it, and it's up to you from that point what to do or where to go. And you are yourself, you're going to become the master, and yourself you start to see all this 360-degree view around your life. So then once you see that, you know what to do or what not to do. And once you have it, this repetition of breathing and the repetition of the circle of breathing, circle of life, circle of happening anymore, not a problem for you, because now you see deeply from where I come. And so this is another avenue that you can deeply, through the practice breathing meditation, how you can deeper tap into the system. Five aggregates, that is everything. That everything means what we experience within us. So when you practice, you can apply it little by little, and even in day-to-day life or anything, you can apply that the Buddha's teaching. Don't neglect, don't struggle. So with that, we're going to practice that technique today with our observing inhalation, exhalation. You don't neglect it, but you don't struggle with it. Keep the awareness again and again. Watch your mind. You don't neglect your mind. You don't struggle with it. Watch your body. You don't neglect your body. You don't struggle with it. So let's go into that. So your right palm on your left and neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes yourself and say Swapateva, oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalation and exhalation happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Remember to stay in the middle. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata chamnihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammang Pujemi Sanghang Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjissami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.